Giggle, giggle.
Giggle, giggle. Here we are. We have a great guest tonight who I learned a lot from.
I feel like we do with literally every single guest. It's like I always come out of the recording being like, man, I think I gained 2 brain cells out of that conversation.
Yeah. I did feel this was one of the conversations where I was like, I don't really have any context. Like, I need you to explain many things to me.
And you will hear that of us. We're like, wait, what is this term?
But hopefully some of you out there who also had the same questions, this will give you a better understanding of what a great experience is coming to Snohomish and what a great opportunity this is. And those of you who do know will just kind of easily follow along and be more excited. Exactly. So we have Anthony Sarden
from Snohomish United.
He explains that he has anywhere from 3 to 4-year-olds all the way up to 19-year-olds.
Pre-professionals.
Yes, pre-professionals. There's some really cool stuff coming to Snohomish this spring. It'll be an opportunity for us to all get behind our very own sports team that's not centric around the high school, which we love you. And there's plenty of love for the high school, but this will kind of take it to the next level. And what I'm most excited for is that we will have a new experiential asset basically coming to our downtown district. Because while they're not directly in historic downtown,
3 blocks away,
3 blocks away. Yes. And it's an easy walk and it's going to bring so many things for us to do, even beyond the world of soccer. So I'm so excited.
And so many things to learn. And I'm just so excited to see what kind of community arises from this new group that is coming.
Yeah.
Well, without further ado, here's our episode with Anthony Sarden.
Enjoy. Sheila.
Megan.
Welcome back.
Yes. Long time no see.
I know. It's been, what, 2 in a week?
A week.
10 days?
Yeah.
Has it been only 1 week?
Probably.
Well, we're happy to be back. And on the other couch with us tonight, we have Anthony Sarden. And Anthony, you are here to talk to us about Snohomish United. And for those of us who only played soccer a couple years in elementary school, would you please explain to me and the rest of our listeners what Snohomish United is and a little bit about the soccer presence here in Snohomish, which I've been learning is actually quite
intense.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Snohomish United is we're a premier level soccer program. We also have recreational soccer. And we actually have a special needs program as well. The program is also known as Snohomish U Soccer. We go by both names, but Snohomish United is really what the premier program is called. The club has been around since the 70s, operated out of Stalker Fields. It started with Ed Stalker letting people in the 70s use his fields for, the kids to come play. And then he started an adult tournament. And then the club kind of grew from there.
Wow.
And we operate the Snohomish Bigfoot, which is one of the biggest tournaments in the Northwest. I think we had about 18,000 people come through our gates last year in 8 days. So it was quite a production.
That's huge.
So it's a wonderful experience for the kids because they come and they're playing games, they're camping, they're going into the river, they're watching other, teams play. It's really a unique experience. There's nothing like it in the state. On the premier side, we have about 560 premier level players. We have an ECNL program, which is the top level in the country for boys. For recreation, I think we have about close to 1,000 players for recreational side. So about 1,500, 1,600 kids. It goes up and down just because kids come in and kids go out.
Right.
So I never know how we have until the end of the year, how many people we have total. But we also, we do events like River's Edge Brew Fest and other things. We hosted a Frisbee tournament that we'll also host this summer as well.
Fun.
So,
well, for those of us that are not familiar with how soccer works, what is a Premier League and how is that different from recreational?
Right. So recreational is about a 3-month season. It's usually parents coaching or volunteers coaching. It's really community. I think 95 to 98% of the players that compete in recreational soccer are from Snohomish School District. Premier side is a full year. And so these are professional coaches. We have a number of coaches who played professional soccer. Some play for the Sounders, some play in the MLS. Some are former college coaches. And they go all year round and they travel all over the country. We've had kids come from Tacoma to play. Jeez. And we have kids. I have, I think, 6 kids on my U19 team right now from Bellingham. And so they come to every practice, and, they practice 3 times a week, the older kids, and some of the teams practice twice a week, but it's a commitment. But we also allow the kids to play other sports, and we want them to be kids. And, we think that's a big part of them, growing as people.
Wow. That is definitely dedication to travel all the way, especially in the winter like today.
Yeah.
And they're practicing outside.
Yep.
I heard the U19. Is that according to age? Like, is that a literal 19-year-olds?
So the way we do it is it really breaks it into birth year. But the way that they do the divisions on what the rules are, it's based on like U19, so under 19. So the kids on the U19s were born in 2006 and 2007. And so they're seniors in high school and juniors in high school, some of them.
Wow.
So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
So what are your ties to Snohomish County, and how did you end up getting involved with soccer here?
I'm originally from California, and I came up to Washington State to play at Seattle University. And I ended up, after graduating and playing there, I ended up coaching there for about 6 years. And then I was involved in the Sounders EPD program. And the technical director, Scott Uteritz, he and I were assigned to the same team with the Sounders. And we ended up, becoming friends. And, I was at a different club. And then the club that I was at wasn't doing great. I was just a coach there. And then I was looking for something new. He invited me up to kind of look at it. And I was living in Green Lake at the time. And I was like, oh, this is a long way. But I remember driving down Seattle Hill Road, and I was like, wow. And it kind of reminded me of where I grew up. I grew up in Sacramento in the city, but surrounded by like Davis and Dixon and, very agricultural area. And it was a really nice spring day. And I come down and I saw the fields.
That's lucky.
Well, that's how I ended up here. I came on a recruiting visit in the spring thinking that, this is,
I
what are
wonder
they
if they
talking
did that
about?
on
The
purpose.
rain.
They were like, hey, why don't you come down in May, June, maybe?
That's how they always get you.
Yeah.
That is exactly what happened. So I came up on a beautiful day and they trapped me. So, and I've been here ever since, but came to coach here. And then I started to get a little burnout. Coaching in college it's a lot. It's, 60 to 80 hours a week, and got pretty burnt out traveling all the time. And I think the last straw for me, I think it was home in December 20 out of the 31 days. And I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, that's
so
a lot.
I was looking for a way out and got offered a job and came here and ended up being an assistant director first and then becoming a director of coaching after that. So I've been here, and then I moved here and I've been here about 12 years now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So your title now with Snohomish United is what?
Director of coaching. Yeah. Yeah. So there's another director. He's above me, a technical director. So we worked closely together. And my main role is I'm programming and in charge of the coaches and the kids and, kind of what we do. So
is this a nonprofit? Do you guys operate as a nonprofit?
Yes, we're a nonprofit. Yeah.
And so you have directors and then program managers, I would imagine. And then you have coaches. Like, can you kind of walk us through? I'm kind of fascinated because I don't know anything about this. So how does this work?
Yeah. So we have a board that we report to. We have a great president. He actually is one of the reasons I love him is he had it from all different perspectives. So that's why he's really good at what he does. So he's a volunteer, but he coached direct in the club. He coached premier in the club. He was on the board in the club, and his kid played in the club. And his kid's actually a professional soccer player now. He plays for the Spokane Velocity of USL 1. He's also a very, he owns his own business, so he's very savvy. And a lot of our board members are from the area and have kids that either grew up playing in the club, but none of them currently have kids in the club. So there's no tension there, because that can sometimes create tension if the kids, my kid didn't make a team,
Gotcha.
And we have 6 full-time staff members, and I oversee about 22 coaches.
Wow.
It's a large organization. Like, I'm stunned hearing all the numbers that are coming out. Like, there's a lot.
Who are most of your coaches? Are they older kids, college kids?
We have, I think our youngest coach is 23 or 24. Most of them are 30s and 40s.
Okay.
The cool thing that we have now is, and this might be dating me a little bit, but some of our coaches grew up playing in the program, and they're coming back, they're graduating from school, they're getting jobs, and they're moving back to the area. And I think we're up to like 6 or 7 now that are coaching in the club, which makes it really easy for me to manage, because They understand our culture. They understand the community. They grew up doing it. You know, they love the area and they love the club and they're very passionate about, you know, what they do. And what's great is, you know, when I'm going over something with a parent or a kid, they're perfect examples of, you know, coming through the program.
Yeah, because they've lived it.
Yeah. So it makes it really easy to create, I think, what we have is when we have, and we're going to keep, and we hired 2 new ones for next year.
Cool. So what are the youngest age players in your league?
We have 3 and 4-year-olds.
Oh,
So it goes really young.
that has to be the cutest thing ever.
Yes. It's like herding cats.
I always imagine they're like little bumblebees.
They are like little bumblebees, and they are adorable at times. I used to run our junior academy program. We don't have the junior academy program anymore because Premier Soccer has gone down to U8. But I've coached a U5 team and a U6 team before, and I've coached college level, like Division I college. I've you know, coached against UCLA and you know, some of these big schools, and that hour of coaching is the hardest I've ever had to coach in my life. We have some coaches in our club who are absolutely phenomenal with those kids. I mean, they are just the most. I have all these emails. We have this coach named Diego who grew up playing in our club, and the emails I get about his patience, he's like a superhuman with his patience, and he's so good with these kids, and it's fun to watch. Our oldest kids are U19, our youngest kids are about 4.
Wow.
I feel like to coach like the 3-4-year-olds, you just need to know how to let go. Yeah. It's like you can't control it to the vision that you want it to be. And you just got to make sure they're learning, they're having fun.
Yeah, because like you're really not teaching soccer skills at that point. You're teaching like how to listen and how to pay attention to your teammate and how to listen to your coach and maybe with a little bit of soccer in there.
Yeah. There's things that you can teach them, but you can't overload them with information. And you have to use, like, they don't know their right from their left. And you have to use landmarks. Okay, you're going to play on the side by your appearance. Or you're going to, you know, so you have to be constant with them. And you just cannot overload them with information. And they say wonderful things. So
That is so cute though.
Yeah.
I remember when my little nephew tried to play soccer. I think he's still playing now, but he was really little. And we went to one of his practices just to watch for fun. And I think they were like 5 and 6. It was a very entertaining hour. Like I actually would recommend it. If you have a family member that a little guy or little girl that plays soccer, definitely go check them out because it's worth your time.
So then from the recreational side, do you see like a lot of conversion of, you know, folks that are just really getting into it because of the program and they end up doing the premier side? Like how does that flow between the two sides?
Really, it's at U8 and U9 when you see the conversion from kids coming from recreational to our program or to the premier program. It's 2 different products after that. We had an open house last week for our U8 spring program to where they can come in. It's like a pre-premier to where they can just play 6 games. It's twice a week, 1-hour trainings, and they can go and they can kind of check it out. And it's gradually, it teaches the parents what it's about and the kids what it's about. So we have them in the open house go out and train with the kids who've already been doing it so they can see what the level is. And what I tell the parents is 95% of the kids that you see out here were in your position last year, as well as the parents. And so don't be afraid. We're not going to take over your life. We want them to play multiple sports, want them to have fun and, you know, do piano and dance. We want, you know, we're willing to be flexible with that. But after that, it's 2 different products. It's not, Premier Soccer's not for everyone. We value our rec kids and just as much as we value our premier kids and our top soccer kids.
I always find that it's such an important part of growing up is having these extracurriculars, you know? I was not an athletic kid, still am not an athletic
What about the tennis?
I mean, I was okay. Like I made it work, but definitely athleticism was not natural to me. And my family kind of grew up like extracurriculars were, you know, going to like Kumon, like having like math lessons and things like that. And I had to like stand up to my parents and be like, no, I want to start playing tennis because I thought it looked cool. And I was like, I'm not a good runner, so I can't do track. I can't do soccer. I don't have the cardio for that. And I was like, no, I want to try like playing tennis. But there's so many skills that you learn by having an extracurricular activity on top of just normal going to school. There's a different culture and social aspect that you learn. So I love that, like right here in our backyard in Snohomish, there's such a big venue for people who want to get involved. And you guys are running so many people. Like I can only imagine what kind of benefits, the community gets from a support system like having Snohomish United right in our backyard.
Yeah. I was just at a networking, or no, not really networking. It was like a nonprofit roundtable. And they were talking about the soccer presence basically in Snohomish. And they're like, if you don't know about the soccer community here, where have you been? And I was kind of like, where have I been? Like, I mean, I know it's here. I know Bigfoot. I see the Snohomish Sports Dome. Like you can see kids playing soccer pretty much all the time if you drive by any of the fields. But it is interesting that it's like, if you don't have a kid that plays soccer, then you don't really understand how expansive of a program it is. That being said, what is the best way for a family to get involved if they...
Or learn more.
Yeah, or learn more if they have a child that's interested.
Contact me, contact the office, and we'll get them out. I'm very easy to get a hold of as a director, so I'll talk to any parent. I have no problem doing that. And we'll get them out to a training and talk to the coaches, and they can come out and check it out for free.
Yeah.
One of the things I think that we're doing a better job is being more present. We are a big operation in the area, but a small operation when we get compared to some of the other clubs in the state. Right? So like Seattle United, they have more kids in their club than we have in our school district.
Wow.
And so we have to go compete with them. And so, which is fine. It's just part of the deal. With that being said, we're trying to do a better job on social media and marketing, and this USL League 2 program, I think, is really, we've gotten more publicity, I think, in the past 2 months from that than we've had in 14 years, so which I think is positive. So.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about that, because that's kind of how you came onto my radar. I can't even remember how at this point, but we got connected somehow. And it was like, there is a semi-pro soccer team coming to Snohomish. And I was like, what? This is cool. Let's talk to this guy. So tell us about that.
Yeah. So it's very interesting and how it happened. It kind of happened organically. Last April, we were having lunch with a colleague, and me and the director were talking with another director, and we were just talking about, the kids that have gone on to play, and, kids that were, I think Enrique Guerrero Jr. came up. Enrique Guerrero Jr. plays at Seattle University, and he grew up playing in our program and also played in this director's program. His dad actually owns El Preso.
Oh, awesome.
And so it's a Guerrero family, and they're a big soccer family, and they've been great supporters of our program, and they're just a great family. But he was driving down to Olympia to play. And then we were thinking, like, this is a great place for that.
Yeah.
And then we started research, and Ballard FC is kind of the standard bearer of not only the Northwest for USL League 2, but also for the country. And, they've won a national championship, and they're very much a community based. And we're walking distance from downtown. We run, a brew festival. We know how to do that part of it, of the having beer at games, and we run a tournament that gets 18,000 people through the gates. We could probably handle this, And then we started exploring it, and then we went through the cost, and then trying to get the program and working with the USL on it. The best college players in the country play in the USL League 2, and it's future professionals. And we looked at bringing in basically an aspirational program for our kids, as well as bringing in a team that we think could, provide great pride within the community. And one of the things that I love about the sport of soccer, it's really a community sport.
Yeah.
You got 11 players, one ball. Everybody's reliant upon one another.
Yeah.
If you're a good forward, you can't score a goal if you don't get service. And it's one of those things to where, being so tight in the community and being so close, we wanted it to really, really bring something that we think that could, help our club out with our kids aspiring to get to that level, but also provide some affordable entertainment for people. And, I want people at games, and I want people on First Street, and being part of the community.
So when is that going to start, if it has not already, and I'm just ignorant?
The season starts in May.
Okay.
So we are in the midst of all of the back end organizational stuff. So we had our launch party, which was
Heard it was very well received.
there were about 400 people attended,
Yeah.
which was overwhelming because I did not expect that. So there were so many people that when I was on the microphone, they were in front of the receiver.
Oh.
And so I had to go back a haywire and stand next to the receiver while I was talking on the microphone.
That's cool.
So which is a good
That's a
problem.
great feeling though, right?
Yeah, it's a great problem to have,
Yeah.
right? So we've been really excited about our kids are through the moon. They can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
We're excited about it. It's the first year, so we don't know what to expect. And I feel like sometimes my head's below water,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it'll be a great experience. I mean, some of the players that we have coming are really, really good. One of the boys was actually drafted into the MLS.
Wow.
And he plays at Georgetown, and he's not going to go to the MLS yet. He's going to go back another year of school and play for us this summer. So hopefully we get more kids that go on to the professional pathway.
So are you guys still going to be playing out at Stalker?
We
Field?
are. Yes.
Wow. So are you guys going to put up stands?
We're going to bring in temporary stands and we're going to have a beer garden.
Yeah.
And Haywire is going to provide the beer and they're going to run it. And we're talking about doing pregame functions at Haywire and postgame functions. And a big part of the soccer culture is march into the game. And soccer internationally is very much a community, based sport. There's multiple divisions. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Wrexham. Yeah. So like it's like that. I mean, it provides passion and that's what we want. We want that sense of togetherness. And, sometimes when you talk about community is we either really excited about community when we win and we have all the success, or it brings us together like what's happening in California right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, it hits home for me a little bit just because I'm from California and my wife's a firefighter.
Oh, wow.
And so it's one of those things to where, why does it take something like that to bring us together when it can be something that we can always have?
Yeah.
And that's what we want to see.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Sacramento. When I was growing up in Sacramento, the only major sport that we had was NBA basketball, Sacramento Kings, right? And they, for most of my life, have been awful. but that doesn't matter.
It's like our Mariners.
It doesn't matter because the only people that are allowed to talk poorly about the Kings,
are
get
yourselves.
away with it,
are
us or the Mariners, right? And so
because we're going to be true no matter what,
right?
Exactly. That's what it's about. It's part of you, right? I ran into a parent that was wearing a Sacramento Kings sweatshirt. I had no idea who it was.
Instant friends.
Instantly, there's that bit of emotion that comes,
that
right?
bond.
And that's what we want to create here. That's what I like seeing, when our kids are walking around in their sweatshirts downtown, or they're walking, we want that for the USL team as well.
Can't wait to see that. One idea that I had when I was talking with you before is it would be so cool. And now, just so everybody knows, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying I would like it to happen. I'm going to work on it possibly happening. But wouldn't it be so cool if from basically like Maple, where Haywire is, down first to the fields was Snohomish United Way. Like,
that'd be amazing.
We could put up some flags. We could get one of those, street signs that's not really the street sign. It still says first, but then it also says Snohomish United Way. Like,
and then we can march down it.
And then we can march down it. It's a direct route. So that's what I already am like.
We're on
how
board,
can I talk to the city? And
we're going to manifest this into reality.
Maybe not for season 1. That would be incredible. But I would love to see something like that because the visual representation is so important,
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. Like we're going through renovation. So we're renovating the outside of our office this last summer, and then we're renovating the inside. And we're entering a new chapter. We're growing as an organization, and we have this new exciting program that will help attract people to the area, attract people to our club. And I love stuff like that. I think that's great because I think it just brings people together, and we should try to make that happen.
Yeah,
love to make that happen.
I'm already working on it.
Oh, great. Well, we're on board.
Yeah, I think that would be so cool. And even when you were talking about like Seattle United, like we moved here from Edmonds.
Okay.
And my son, he never listens to this podcast, so I can kind of talk about him. But he had this thing for just like hand-me-down t-shirts. And he didn't care what they said. He just loved them. This was like elementary school. So he would have like random elementary school t-shirts that he didn't go to. But he picked up on Seattle United. And he would find them at like thrift stores or wherever. And he would wear them all the time. And people were always like, oh, you play for Seattle United? No. But he was out there representing anyway. Yeah. And it totally was this community because every time he was wearing that t-shirt, somebody asked every time. Now, in his case, it didn't match up as far as him participating. But he was like, I just like the shirt. But it's so important, again, that visual representation. And I can't wait to see kids down on First Street wearing that, parents wearing that. If maybe we can even get some fan wear in some of our shops and things, you know.
I actually really like sports teams that are like representing smaller communities in a way. Because I know a lot of people here are, you know, big Seahawks fans, Mariners fans, Kraken fans now too. And Trent and I are big hockey fans. And when we first moved out into the area, we somehow got into the Silvertips for hockey, WHL, right? And we love going to the games, and one of the big rivals here is with Seattle Thunderbirds. Again, like we have no like childhood history of being Silvertips fans or anything. But as soon as you see someone wearing a Thunderbirds like jersey, you're like, no, we're Silvertips fans over here. And we love going to the games. And when we went to the Kraken game, we went the first opening season because we're like, finally, you know, an NHL game. It is a very different like type of passion that you see when you're supporting like your whole city's or your whole state's like professional team versus supporting some of like the smaller or like the WHL league instead of the NHL. And the conclusion that we came together is that the Silvertips fans are fans.
Yeah.
You know, it is a very different vibe. And I can just imagine how Snohomish as a community would show up for Snohomish United. Like, I think they could be the super diehards like fans, and I can't wait for that to happen.
We hope so too. So the USL League 2 team, that the best comparison would be the Silvertips. That would be the best comparison.
Gotcha.
Get ready to be a soccer fan, Sheila.
I mean, I'm here for it. I am ready. As long as someone can teach me how to like pay attention to the game and like what the rules are.
I'll bring my 4th grade recollection in.
There you go. You can coach me on how to be a fan. We'll be standing on the sidelines and cheering, and
that's right.
I think it's just me so fun to have something like what you're saying, something fun and new to get behind, you know, and to cheer on so many local kids that are going to be playing. You know, that's what's going to be really cool. Is that these are all going to be local families and people from the area.
We're still building the team. We had our open tryout with 75 players at an open tryout.
Wow.
And a lot of them were local kids who, you know, some of them grew up playing, and it's a very, very high level. I mean, a lot of these guys they're trying to become professionals.
Yeah.
The USL likes to call it pre-professional versus semi-pro because the difference between the USL League 2 and some of these other semi-pro leagues is the semi-pro league, a lot of them are not necessarily trying to be pros. They're just trying to play at a decent level. These are kids who are like, we want to get a contract. Like we want to put, you know, our performances on film so that we can get discovered and play at the next level. And so we've got a couple kids that grew up playing in our program. One of our kids that's going to be playing on the team. I mean, he played here since he was 7 years old. And he's at Seattle Pacific now playing. So yeah, I know it's those are the best.
So how big is the team? How many?
The team will be about anywhere between 25 to 30 players. And so they are big, strong, fast college kids. And so they get hurt a lot. So, and we have to manage, cause they'll still be in school for part of the season. We have to manage, you know, them going to school, and some of them might not be available for some games. So, and then some of them are coming from the East Coast. So some of them might not be available at the beginning of the season because they might not be released yet. And so the process we're going through right now is trying to get, okay, when are you getting released? When's school done? You know, who's available.
Lots of calendars to manage.
Yeah. And we actually have the scheduling meeting next week down in Eugene. So we'll know actually when we're playing games now. And we can actually make posters and, you know, sell season tickets. We're selling season ticket deposits right now, but I know the youth soccer parent, they need to know exactly when the games are.
The dates.
So before they start purchasing.
And how far are you guys going to travel when you play games?
So we are in our league, the farthest we travel is Eugene.
Wow. Yeah. That's still considerable.
Yeah. So we'll play Eugene. There's Lane United from Eugene, and they just got promoted to USL 1, which they're going to be a professional team after this year.
Wow.
There's going to be a team in Portland now, new expansion team, but that hasn't been finalized yet. There's a team in Olympia, Bellevue. The Ballard and they get, 2,000 to 3,000 people at their games. And, we're hoping to get to that someday. Maybe not the first year, but we want to build to that. There's a team down in Maple Valley. They are also expansion franchise like us, Tacoma Stars. Trying to think who else, but that's most of the teams. Yeah,
mostly
there's about, I think, 8 teams.
Wow.
So that'll be fun.
If we do well and we go to the playoffs, we might have to go to California or, the USL's all over the country. So it just kind of depends from there.
Gotcha.
So another thing that we were talking about before, kind of with like WHL, NHL, is we have the FIFA World Cup coming here soon. That's 2026, right? Next year?
Yes.
So was your timing aligned with that at all? Or was this just coincidental?
It was very coincidental. Mm-hmm. It's great timing.
Yeah.
I know the FIFA Club World Cup, to where the World Cup or the clubs from around the world are going to play in the Club World Cup in 2025.
So there's 2 happening.
Well,
sorry, I have no understanding of this. Please explain.
So the World Cup is countries. The Club World Cup is the best club it's like the winners of Europe versus the winners of Asia versus the winners of South America, North America. So, and we're hosting that in Seattle. It's one of the sites. And it's like a preview of, I think it's to get people excited about the World Cup too.
Yeah.
So the World Cup is an experience like no other.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's coming to Everett, right?
No, that's where like a watch party, I think, for the Club World.
Where is the World Cup going to be? Because I heard that and I was like, how?
Yeah.
Is it Lumen?
It's going to be Lumen. Yeah. So the World Cup is going to be, and I think the Club World Cup's there too. The World Cup's going to be North America. So it's going to be here
multiple
in Canada
places.
And in Mexico because it's so big. So I went to the World Cup in 1994 down in California, and it's hard to put into words the feeling that you get at those games, because when you're talking about the pride of your country, it's every 4 years.
It's like the Olympics.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like
different
the Olympics.
states.
Yeah. It's totally different. It's a different animal for sure.
That's really cool. So, okay, I think I understand where I'm getting my Everett part
the
here.
watch party.
Yes, I'm like, I see these designated fan zones.
Yes.
And I saw, so we're a Main Street community.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're always, talking to other Main Street communities. So like Bremerton and Everett were both sharing recently how they're going to be these designated fan zones. I'm like, okay, well, if Everett is a fan zone and Snohomish is right here across the trestle, and we have all these great new soccer programs coming up, can you explain what this might mean and how we could take advantage of this for our Snohomish soccer community?
This could grow the game. Every time there's a World Cup, there's more participation for people watching.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to bring in the USL League 2 as well, is we want to grow the game in the area. And we should see an increase in numbers of kids coming. And like when the women do well in the World Cup, there's a huge boost in women's soccer, which is great because there was a little bit of a downturn. So we want to see that go back up, just get more people participating. So that's the biggest thing, is just increasing kids playing in something that is positive and being active.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Did you find that interest and participation in soccer in general has kind of crept up a little faster in recent years? Because I feel like with things like you mentioned Wrexham, that's such a big media thing, right? Because I feel like before it's not as big in the US, but it's like only in recent years, and maybe also me moving to Seattle where there is like a professional MLS team, that I ever hear of people like actually interested in soccer. Right. So do you think that overall there's an upward trend in the United States of like people being interested and kids then being interested?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I think it has to do a number of different factors. One, access to being able to see the games on a regular basis with the English Premier League. FIFA, the video game, is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
So FIFA came out when I was in high school or when I was in grade school, and it was awesome, and it was just like, oh my God, I get to play soccer. Yeah, it's definitely trending upwards. And if you look at the expansion of the USL, right, they're expanding in a lot of different areas. So they're a competing league with the MLS. So the USL has 3 different divisions. They have USL League Championship, which is the competing league with the MLS. There is the USL 1, which is right underneath there. And then there is the USL League 2. So there's 3 different tiers. Our goal is to have kids go right up the development pathway. And so they're coming to places like Snohomish and Spokane and Boise and, New Mexico and Corpus Christi. And they've done a really good job of expanding because the barrier of entry is lower than it is in the MLS. You need, if you want to have Sacramento just went through this with getting an MLS franchise, they had to back out because they changed the MLS changed the price on to like 300 million, versus it's a much lower in the USL, which allows you to build and grow. It's 2 totally different systems. And so the game is definitely growing for sure. Yeah.
That's so great.
Amazing to hear.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I'm excited for the community to get on board with this and to be able to have more opportunities and to expand. And I do appreciate how you were talking about trying to tie this into First Street. I mean, you guys play just
right
outside of
off.
our district. I mean, you're like 3 blocks away. And I think there's a lot of exciting partnership opportunities for our businesses as we get into soccer season. So I definitely want to keep conversing with you and making sure that we're bringing some opportunities to the businesses and even Bigfoot, like you mentioned, that is a huge economic boost in the summertime. I mean, it's so busy in the summertime, but I remember looking at data with our economic development coordinator at the city of Snohomish. And I think we were even on a call with one of the reps from the data service provider. And she was like, what was this on this weekend? And because it was just like, whoa, like we're like off the charts, and we're like, oh, that was Bigfoot, where there's just like thousands of people that come in here. Yeah. And so you can literally see the impact that it has. We've had businesses talk about like, how could we maybe do some deliveries or have something to where parents can, easily get food for takeout so that they, if they don't want to leave the area, that we can bring things to them. So there's so many potentials already of ways that we are expanding with just that. So I'm excited to see what we can come up with to support the entire season. That's such a great opportunity.
Yeah, we would absolutely love to do that. We just had a photo op with Tammy Dunn with the Snohomish County Sports Commission on Monday because we won an Economic Impact Award. I think they calculated $4.9 million in that during Bigfoot.
That's so great.
That's
congratulations.
Thank you. So our staff does a great job, and it's been around for a long time, and we just want to keep growing it and growing it and growing it, and also make sure we're not shutting down the city, which we've done in the past, because there's some positives and negatives. It's that many people coming, but this year splitting the 2 weekends was great.
I think that was a good idea.
Yeah, Sherry said we didn't even realize that there was something going on this weekend, which is what we want to hear.
Yeah, that was a good move. We noticed that as well, and the business community was a little bit more receptive. Nobody dislikes it. It's bringing so much business in that it's like, yeah, come play.
Right.
And I do understand the traffic implications because Snohomish is just funny. There's only so many ways in and out. Like there's nowhere else to go. But I think anybody who is regularly around here knows what Bigfoot is like. And you either park on the West End and you walk, or you don't drive down here that day unless you're coming to Bigfoot.
Exactly.
We have neighbors that plan their vacations during
that's so funny.
Bigfoot, which is great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but our plan really too is because we own our own property. I mean, it's private property, and our goal is to also do live music down there eventually.
Yeah,
and that's something that we want to continue to do, is continue to raise money for the kids and continue to be a presence within the community, because it would be a great live music venue.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
Sure. Yeah.
And that would be so great for us as well, because we have limited places to do that in town, and we don't want to send people out of town. Right. And that's not out of town.
No,
it's just a couple blocks away.
Around the corner.
And it's perfect because, when we do things like that down here, it really does have a big impact, because if you shut down a couple of the streets, in downtown proper, then that really has a big implication on what's happening. And usually it ends up to be, positive, because people are going to the thing and then they're coming to the shops and whatnot. But there's only so much space you have to work with. And that means your event can only be as so big as it can support. Right. There's a certain, threshold that we pass that it's like, you can't grow really more. We've kind of realized it's about 8,000. That's about it. Then you're busting at the seams and it becomes unpleasant for the visitor. And we don't want that. No. Like, we want your experience to be great. So to have a partner venue where it's like, they do these events right down here. You can still get the First Street experience and go to a really great music festival. Yeah. I'm just excited about all the things that are coming with this. It's such a great opportunity.
It'll be a great year.
I
Yeah.
hope so, yeah.
So we always end our podcast asking if you could please describe your perfect day in Snohomish. I'm guessing it's going to include some soccer.
Actually, no.
He's like, I need a break.
Perfect day is usually when the kids are off and my phone's not ringing and I don't have, 120 emails by, 9:30 in the morning. I love walking from my house with my wife down First Street. We're actually going out on a date tonight to the Rep,
Ooh, good choice.
which we love. Yeah, we love walking First Street and kind of bar hopping a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I guess a perfect day is I wake up early, go on a run. I love going to Lord Hill or going down Centennial Trail. And most of the time in the morning, I run around downtown Snohomish. So I do like a little loop and then, working and then just enjoying the town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's lots of great places downtown that I like to visit. So,
well, I love that you're going to the Rep. That's one of my favorite dinner places.
Yeah, they have some good food, good cocktails, good
service,
music.
good music. Everything's good there.
yeah.
And I'm so glad that you're taking advantage of being down here tonight anyway to go out with the wife.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us. We're really excited to see what comes of all of this, and congratulations on everything. Yeah, Sheila and I are going to become soccer fans. We're going to come, we're going to learn all the chants. And
Yes.
we'll paint our faces.
Right. Snohomish United fans.
Yeah, we can't wait to be Snohomish United fans. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at games.
Yeah,
For sure.
We'll be there.
Snohomish Storytellers, brought to you by the Historic Downtown Snohomish Association, produced by Red Trucks.